Welcome to TWF Dynamite. I am Jim Ross here with Edward Collins and with Taz. And today on Dynamite, we're going to see a fight that we saw on Monday Night Raw. We're going to see here on Dynamite, and it's going to be Asuka, the TWF Women's Heavyweight winner, fighting Sasha Banks, who wants to have her seek to win it again. And now we're going to, go to that fight. Well, you're right about that, Jim Ross. Edward Collins says Sasha Banks wanted to be the TWF Women's Heavyweight winner, but she lost it to Asuka on Monday Night Raw, or Moon Day Night Underdone, and wants to get it back. And you do know, Taz says, that Sasha Banks should never lost that winnings. And sadly that she did. So now she's going to have to win it again. And now we have Asuka in the ring. Now we got the Fight Lord over there, Jim Ross says. And now we have Sasha Banks over there. And now we got Bayley. And, there for Sasha Banks. And Diva Talk showed up. Alright, Diva Talk says getting way too many folks in this ring now. So here's what I'm going to do, Diva Talk says. This is going to be the last time. Okay, be there, Asuka. It's going to be the last time you get your shot. So the way I look at it, Diva Talk said, I made a lot of mistakes so far. I did something I wasn't supposed to have done, and that was being bad. But I got all the time in the world to make up for all of that. So I'm going to make up for it now. You're going to fight her one more time. And if you don't beat Asuka, that's it, Sasha Banks. You go in the back of the line. And that's the end of that, Diva Talk says. Well, this is for the TWF Women's Heavyweight winnings. First, she is Sasha Banks. And she is from Osaka, Japan, but now lives in Orlando, Florida on the Rikes. She is the TWF Women's Heavyweight winner, Asuka. Deaning well, Jim Ross said, Asuka is one of those women wrestlers that only comes one time in a lifetime. And the only one to be undefeated from 25th between YL till 28 between YL. Ding ding ding. Oh! And Asuka taking down Sasha Banks. The body slam, Jim Ross said. You're right, Edward Collins said. She was undefeated all her time on NXT, all her time on Raw, and almost all her time on SmackDown. She took that first loss at WrestleMania, but she's come back from it. Oh! And Asuka done very well for herself. Oh, down. Asuka taking care of Sasha Banks, who calls herself the true boss. Because she is the true boss, Taz says. She is the true boss. And Bayley's seeking to get into this. Oh! All Bayley had to do is that. No, Sasha Banks just took down Asuka. And then a body slam. And now Sasha Banks. This was the Sasha Banks that did come with the TWF, with the women's heavyweight winnings. And Sasha Banks, somehow, some way, Fight Lord going to look into this. Somehow, some way going to see if she can get Asuka to give up here. But that's not going to happen, is it? And now Bayley took the TWF Women's Heavyweight winnings. And, she fucked up and hit Bayley by mishap. By mistake, Jim Ross said. Well, Edward Collins said, Bayley fucked Bayley's mistake. That was Bayley's mistake. That was Bayley's mishap, Edward Collins said. No, Bailey, you made a mistake. You made a mishap, Taz says. You hit the wrong woman. You hit the wrong girl. And she gonna give up ding. Oh, here is your winner. And still the TWF Women's Heavyweight winner, Asuka. Asuka is still the TWF Women's Heavyweight winner here. And the TWF, she's at least won it 3 times already. And the former TWF Heavyweight winner, 3-time TWF Women's Heavyweight winner, and a 1-time TWF Women's Team winner, has once again got her winnings back. And she's beat Asuka has beat Sasha Banks here on Dynamite. And her and Bailey are getting into a fight right now. Fuck. You cost me. You made me lose the winnings. It was a mistake. It was a mishap. I'm sad. You are sad, Bailey. You're not sad at all. You still the TWF Light Heavyweight winner. You gotta believe me, Bailey. I didn't mean to do it. You gotta believe me, Sasha. I didn't mean to do it. Mistakes happen. Mishaps happen. Well, anyway, we understand that we'll see if this friendship, this kinship between Sasha Banks and Bailey will outlive through this fight or not, Jim Ross said. Only time will tell, Edward Collins says. But we all know that Bailey's mistake made Sasha Banks lose, and Asuka beat her, and she's still the TWF Women's Heavyweight winner, Edward Collins said. Oh, that's true. That's good, Taz says and all. That's good and all. I wonder how Asuka can live with herself knowing that the only grounds to why she got a win was over a mishap and a mistake, Taz says. Well, I understand Gorilla Monsoon is going to be talking with Asuka. Well, Asuka, yeah, Jim Ross, I'm going to be talking with Asuka here on Dynamite. Well, Asuka, you beat Sasha Banks. You're still the TWF Women's Heavyweight winner. Yeah, and I'll tell you why, Gorilla Monsoon. I'll tell you why I beat Sasha Banks on Monday Night Raw, and why I beat her here on Dynamite, and why I'll beat her on Impact and NXT, and why I'll beat her on Friday Night SmackDown, and why I'll beat her on Main Event and Asian Explosion. I'll tell you why, Gorilla Monsoon, like I've been telling everyone since 25th between YL. No one's ready for Asuka. Alright, that was my talk with Asuka. Back to you, Jim Ross. Well, thank you, Gorilla Monsoon, for talking with Asuka here on Dynamite. Well, Bailey made a mistake, and Sasha Banks lost to Asuka. And Asuka beat Sasha Banks. So at the end of the day, it is what it is, Jim Ross said. But Sasha Banks has no one to blame except herself. Or maybe she can blame her good friend Bailey for making her lose that fight. Losing that match, Jim Ross said. Yeah, you're right about that, Conan Barbet. You're right about that, Edward Collins says. I'll tell you one thing, Jim Ross. If Sasha Banks has anyone to blame, besides blaming herself, she can blame Bailey. Oh, Taz said, they got a good friendship. They got a good kinship. So there's no grounds to why neither be blaming each other. Mistakes happen. Mishaps happen. And Asuka, she better watch her back. Because Sasha Banks and Bailey are still going to be coming after her. Well, that's all the time we have here for TWF Dynamite. I am Jim Ross for Edward Collins and Taz. We hoped you liked Dynamite. And before we go, we want to give a shout out to what was the TWE, what is now the Scott channel, or the Scott Fairway. We almost forgot about that, so there you go. Anyway, it's all the time we got here for Dynamite. I'm Jim Ross for Edward Collins and Taz. We hope you like Dynamite, and we'll see you tomorrow for Friday Night SmackDown.